All right, let's kick things off with a question. And be honest with yourself here, because it might just hit a little too close to home for a lot of us.
I mean, really think about that for a second. It's that feeling, where you're stretching yourself so thin for other people that one day you look in the mirror and you kind of go, who is that person even looking back at me?
Oh, and what about this one? That automatic yes that just kind of flies out of your mouth while inside every single part of you is just screaming no. Yeah, I think we've all been there.
Look, if those questions resonated with you at all, you are definitely not alone. It's what we call the classic people pleaser trap. Prioritizing everyone else's happiness so much that your own needs, your own identity, they just get lost. But we're about to explore a way out of that trap, drawing on some really powerful lessons from Ankur Warikoo's work. So if you've ever wanted to win people over, but without losing yourself along the way, this is for you.
And here it is. This is the big idea. And honestly, it's a total game changer. It's not about choosing between being a doormat or being selfish. It's about finding that amazing sweet spot where you can build great relationships without having to sacrifice who you are.
So, where do we even start on this journey? Well, the very first step is all about a powerful shift in perspective. The whole idea is simple, but it's absolutely transformative. You've got to aim to understand people, not just to judge them. And this right here is the key. Somebody else's behavior, that's their story. It's not your report card. So when someone is rude to you, maybe they're just dealing with their own internal storm, right? If they seem distant, maybe they're trying to untangle some personal knot you know nothing about. Their reaction is a reflection of their world, not a judgment on yours. And just look at the difference this makes. You go from being in this chaotic, emotional, reactive state of mind to a place of clarity and thoughtful response. Instead of an emotional firestorm, you get this little spark of insight. And that right there is where you take your power back. So once you start seeing other people with more understanding, something interesting happens. You start valuing your own perspective more. And that brings us to what might be the biggest hurdle for any recovering people pleaser: learning the incredible power of just saying no. We're all kind of conditioned to see no as this negative thing, right? Like it's rude or selfish or that we're disappointing someone. That's the myth you see in that first column. But Warikoo tells us to completely reframe this. Look at the truth in that second column. Saying no isn't rude. It's an act of self-respect. It's not selfish. It's honoring your own time. It's not about disappointing people. It's about being honest. And that's the only way to build a real relationship.
And here's a perfect example of what that can sound like. I'm sorry, I can't do this right now. It's polite, it's firm, and it sets a crystal clear boundary without being aggressive at all. See? That isn't rudeness, that's just clarity and self-respect in action.
Okay, so understanding others and setting boundaries, those are the building blocks. But they both serve a much higher purpose. And that brings us to our third and final lesson: staying true to yourself. This is all about harnessing the incredible power of your own authenticity. This is it. This is where your real power is. It's not in being some kind of chameleon, always changing your colors to fit in. It's in fully embracing what makes you, well, you, your unique personality, the values you hold deep down, your commitment to honesty. These are not weaknesses to hide. They are your absolute greatest strengths. And here's the crazy part. The less you try to force connections by being somebody you're not, the more real connections just happen. When you lead with your authentic self, you create this kind of magnetic pull. People are drawn to what's real, and that authenticity is what builds unbreakable trust.
So, we've walked through these three pretty powerful lessons. Now for the big question. Who is all this really for? Who can benefit the most from this way of thinking?
Well, the truth is, this advice is for pretty much everyone. Whether you're a student just trying to find your place, a working professional trying to navigate tricky team dynamics, or really just anyone trying to manage the beautiful mess of human connection, these ideas are a roadmap to staying confident and true to yourself. Look, if you take away only one thing from our chat today, please let it be this. This is the heart of it all. You absolutely can and should build great connections, but that should never, ever require you to sacrifice the person you truly are. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. What's one no that you need to say this week to make room for a real, true yes in your life? Give that some thought. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.